After a person has served their time behind bars for a crime, it can be tough getting back into the community.
Now there's a new program helping women with the process, Breaking the Cycle. Writings by Women in Prison is a collection of stories written by 43 women who were involved in a personal writing group at the Residential Reentry Center of Roseville. So happy to have Joan Moses, the book's author, and Tracy Harris, the social service coordinator who runs the Reentry Center. Thank you both so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
This is so interesting. Why don't we start with this, the personal writing group, Tracy? What was the goal of that?
Oh, the goal of that was for the women initially just to write and express themselves and to talk about the things that they've been through in their life. Joni came in and would ask them, for 5 minutes, write about the time you're happiest in your life, or for 5 minutes, write about the time where you experienced the most sadness. It was, the idea was to get them in touch with their feelings, to kind of work through some feelings that they've never talked about before.
Joan, what kind of crimes did these women who participated in the program commit?
Well, Tracy can better answer that.
Yeah.
I don't go into the crimes with them, but I know many of them were addicted to a substance, or else, well, they had
substance
robbery.
abuse. We have a lot of conspiracy for drugs. We've had women there for attempted murder. We've had robbery, white-collar crimes, or financial crimes.
Unbelievable.
And so, what was the experience like for you, Joan? Kind of hearing these personal stories and helping put this together.
Well, it's wonderful having them bare their souls and their lives.
Humbling in a way, right?
Yes.
That they trust you with that.
And I asked them questions about their past, present, and future. So we're also helping set goals, and it's very therapeutic going through past experiences. I'll ask them what they're most grateful for and positive things, but I'll also ask them who was most impacted by your incarceration. And questions like that.
Boy, that opens up the...
Oh, yes, and I asked most of them to write about their mother. If they don't want to write about mothers specifically, they will write about their families, their growing up. I'll ask them what they wanted to be when they were 12.
So how did you two connect to write the book?
Well, I was at the center about 10 years ago with a writing teacher of mine who came weekly, or he came monthly, and asked me if I would come along with him. And I loved it. But my own life, I was a caregiver and working full-time, and it didn't allow time for me to continue doing this. So after my husband passed away from pancreatic cancer in 2012, I started working on how am I going to reinvent my life.
Interesting. Well, in a way, you have something in common with these women, then. You're reinventing their life. And, and by going through this writing project, Tracy, I imagine this helps them to at least get thinking about how things are going to go.
Well, it does. It's really empowering for them. I would say at least 90% of the women at our facility who've been involved in the criminal justice system have experienced some kind of trauma in their life. So it gets them to maybe think about it and talk about it. You know, the saying, your secrets are you're only as sick as your secrets. If they talk about it, it's very therapeutic for them, and they feel that they're not alone anymore. You know, it's very empowering, and it makes them feel part of a group.
What do you think was the biggest surprise that you discovered when you were going through a project like this?
I'm surprised at how they relate to each other in not knowing all these things about each other, because they live together, you know, 24/7.
Sure.
And it is very bonding, as Tracy said, for them to hear that other people have had the same experiences, because they come from all over, from different facilities in their federal or state. They don't necessarily know each other. Or they know people. When they get there, they find out there are people that they do know, but they don't know these things. And it's very difficult. At first, it was difficult not to be shocked and surprised and cry. But I held it together. And they trusted me. And I told them, I'm not here to judge you or to change you. I'm a volunteer.
Yeah.
And I just get here to give you a
tell their
voice.
stories, yeah.
Yeah.
The book launch for Breaking the Cycle, Writings by Women in Prison, will take place Sunday, April 30th from noon to 3, St. Mary's Maronite Church. That is at 602 University Avenue Northeast in Minneapolis. We want all these women to successfully reintegrate into society
We do.
so they don't
Yes.
end up back in prison again. So thank you for helping them along that road.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate you guys being here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.